you watch that, and Donnie Vincent's not one of your heroes, you're an idiot. I know Rad and I, my African PH, were descending up there and seeing those miserable times and the wind and the rain and the cold. It's like, we could never do that, people. Never. It's like, we do a lot of dangerous game, but like, the weather's pretty nice. We're so happy and thank you to be a part of it, because to me, that's what this is. That's what hunting is and adventure is, and all this contrived bullshit from marketing companies for other gun companies or companies in our industry. Like the hunt and the adventure and the danger and what could go wrong, you know, shooting the animal is, that's a small part at the end. Donnie, you and your guys do something special there. Yeah, we're happy to be a part of it, be able to support it, so thank you.
I thank you all very much for coming. We like telling stories, and Colin Nicolai's the editor, Forrest Rowe is the photographer, another photographer, William Altman. I've literally asked these guys to risk their life 100 times, more than 100 times. We've crossed so many cliffs that we had no business crossing. Thank you for coming. Kevin, thank you for everything you've done for me and for building an absolutely incredible gun. If you guys have never shot a Q, this is not, my opinion, has never been for sale. I don't care, but his guns, the engineers are insane and the guns just are super pointable. Anyway, thank you all.
We need the craziest people.
You got any questions? Raise your hand. I guess we'll do the old school thing.
Donnie, why would you choose polymer ammo over like brass case or suitcase?
That's a client of mine that we do a lot of military testing with, and they just asked me to take it into unfavorable conditions just to see how it worked there. So that's just a company out of Texas that makes a lot of belt-fed machine guns and small frame machine guns, and they also make the polymer ammo. So
there was a clear parallel between feeling rushed and not having enough time for the hunt to then realizing you didn't have enough time with your dad. Was that intentional? And if not, when did you realize that parallel was happening?
I mean, kind of. It wasn't intentional, and it was just kind of, you know, when we're thinking about these projects and different things, and just how I was kind of feeling on the trip is the season. Oddly enough, they're extending that season right now. Now it's like 10 days further. But generally, when I go and hunt a place, for me, a minimum in a place generally is about 20 days. So I like to go and just immerse myself in it. So me going to a place for 5 or 6 days, but these guys do a lot of moose hunting. I also moose hunt with these guys. So a lot of times they're racing from the area of Alaska they hunt moose. Then they're racing down the peninsula to open up this camp to hunt caribou down here. And so that's why there's such a short period of time. But yeah, I saw the relationship, and oddly enough, this is so bizarre, but this is my dad's birthday is today. And not only that, but my dad was born on Friday the 13th. And so it was really, I was talking to Cody and I was like, we were talking about the date of the film. We're like, oh shit, that's my dad's birthday. And then I was like, oh shit, he was born on Friday the 13th. Anyway, it's kind of weird, but yeah, it's just seeing a simile there and as the stories are coming together.
Donnie, sick film. Kevin, the Fix, I just bought one. I love it. It's incredible. But the platform lends itself to being so light and compact. The 7 backcountry seems interesting. What are your thoughts about that caliber, and if that's something maybe you'd be outfitting the gun in?
Nick Schaefer, who's one of the senior engineers, and that's his gun. That's a gun we wanted to do for 10 years, and several companies turned it down. So we ended up doing it ourselves, which it makes a lot of sense. And everything currently is based on the Remington 700 or the Mauser. So this is using modern technologies and materials to develop a gun. You know, I don't differentiate, you know, like when you do military work, shooting a bad guy or shooting an animal. It's the same thing. I think 7 backcountry is incredible. I love it. The boys and I have tested it in wild Africa, and we've shot a lot of different stuff with it. I think the hybrid or the steel case stuff, the high pressure stuff, is definitely probably the future. Because I mean, Q's whole thing, we're trying to deliver a new capability, did not exist before. And this is squeezing, more capability out of current platforms. And, it can't just be, for us, we've designed 300 Blackout and 8.6. We're not a fucking ammo company. We beg ammo companies to do stuff, and they know better. But it's got to be the gun, it's got to be the optics, it's got to be the ammo, it's got to be the whole solution, for us to get more capability out of a metallic cartridge. And I think the hybrid ammo, or in Federal's case, and cheers to them for coming up with this alloy to make the cases out of, you can get high pressure, so you can get whatever it is, 170 grain bullet going 3,100 feet a second out of, just a standard short action. It's incredible. Or with it, the long action gun. So, yeah, I mean, we've spent months this year in Africa shooting it. I love it. I mean, I can't wait to see where ammo is in 5 years from now.
For Donnie, how far did you make that shot on that caribou, and what kind of distance did you feel comfortable doing and closing the gap and things like that? What was your thought process there?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's actually the furthest shot I've ever taken on an animal. It's 340 yards, something like that.
It was 300.
308. Yep. I shoot, like, when I get to go and shoot with the boys and all the Navy SEALs and Delta guys and all that stuff, we shot a mile this year, which was really fun. So, but I don't know. I like getting close to animals, and even when I'm rifle hunting, if I can shoot them. And the photographers, like, in doing the film, like the big bull that I shot the year before, I shot him he's like 105 yards, and Forrest was like, you could have waited for him to come closer. But, and then the cow, you see his cow in the beginning of that section of film, she comes right up past us like 20 yards, and he's like, see? So they always want him closer for the picture, for the quality. But yeah, those 340 yards is the furthest I've ever shot.
I thought it was kind of interesting that most guys learn hunting from their father, but it sounds like you kind of taught your dad how to hunt. I think that there's a generation of young men who want to hunt that were never taught by their fathers, and they're unsure of where to start. What sort of advice, or what would you suggest to people like that can't learn that from family?
This is one of the questions that I kind of had from my dad. Is my grandparents had bought him an Outdoor Life book subscription when he was a little boy. So instead of coming with magazines, they, like, once a month or once every 3 months, you get a book. So he had this bookcase of amazing books, and he had a walnut gun case with a couple of guns, and so I got to see the things that made a hunter as I was growing up. So it made a strong impression. I mean, I remember reading these books, and I remember talking to my mom vividly about, hey, I'm gonna hunt doll sheep, I'll hunt caribou, I can't wait to go on my first grizzly bear hunt. And she's just like, whatever. And so I remember it vividly, but it's just something, it was never a question what I was going to do. I just wanted to do. And a lot of times people will see these films or whatever, and they're like, well, that's cool, you get to fly out and go to Alaska and see this big country, but it's a mindset. And I'm not just saying this, but you could, like, I could take you to a 10-acre piece of woods, and we can go on a gray squirrel hunt with the exact same mindset. And hell, we can even set up a camp and get our 22s dialed and go out and take it dead serious and go out and make headshots on half a dozen squirrels and skin them and cook them, and it's freaking fantastic eating, and it's real woodsmanship. Like, you don't have to go kill a grizzly bear or a caribou. This isn't man versus wild. This is an appreciation and using a resource. And so when people reach out to me, and I get a lot of letters, which I very much appreciate. Sometimes when we're writing these films, try to write them not in any sort of persuasive way, but write them in a manner that it is hopefully going to elicit good conversations and great questions from people, especially maybe anti-hunters or non-hunters. And I get letters all the time from people that aren't hunters, and they want to know how to start, or sometimes it's really funny because they say, hey, I'm not a hunter. I shoot rabbits in my yard, and my wife and I, we eat them, but I'm not a hunter. I don't ever want to be a hunter, but we shoot rabbits in our yard. I'm like, don't look now, but you're hunting. And so they're confusing what it is. But I think if you have kids, a kid that doesn't have a dad or mom that hunts is just maybe even finding a mentor or picking up books and starting to dissect it itself. But it does not have to be a huge trip. This is just something that I want to do. I started hunting Alaska. I'm probably on my 60th or 70th trip, something like that, going up there. But it's just something that was never a compromise for me. I didn't party in college. I had friends of mine that were having way more fun than I was having. And I mean, my electricity was shut off. I realized that when they shut your water off, it still comes out of the shower head as a trickle, so you can still kind of wash yourself. And I packed for multiple trips by candlelight because my electricity was shut off. But it was never a compromise. And this was never a business plan for me whatsoever. I've worked as a research biologist for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and I studied tigers in Asia and salmon in Alaska. And then Kyle Nicolai, our editor, it's impossible to get a compliment from him. And we worked on a project together for a year. And he was like, hey, you're really good at telling stories. If you wanted to do this, we could probably start a company. And I never heard him really compliment anyone. So I was like, you must mean it. So we kind of decided to make one film because I was sure it wouldn't work. He was sure it would. So
as far as being a hunter, I mean, we all have pretty wild raw experiences. When you guys as a crew look at a season, like how do you determine what hunt, what story, what moment is the one where the crew comes out, the cameras are out?
It's all
kind of wade through that.
I mean, film them all. As big a wilderness as possible, I try to. So basically, I'll go and I'll befriend pilots, and I'm hiring them. I'm paying them, but then I just tell them to fly me in, like, let's get to the most wild country. And like, I'm going up to a place this year these guys gonna take me in with this helicopter, and we're gonna go build an airstrip because there's a place that I want to hunt. There's no place to land an airplane. So he's gonna drop me off in June, and I'll go spend a week or so out there making an airstrip that I'll go land on in September. Yeah.
So when you film the first week, when you film all that, how do you kind of like wade through it and build the story out?
Oh, that's Kyle. That like we'll talk about that stuff. Like we'll talk about high level ideas. I'll talk about the animal aspects of it and the hunt aspects of it, and then we'll come up with those determinations. Like The Other Side. Have you seen The Other Side? So we struggled with The Other Side because we did, that took us like 8 years to film. And so we went on all these different bear hunts, but nothing really like had a bow tied around it. And one day I was just driving and I called him and I was like, man, why don't we do a film about bear hunting? And then we can weave all this, the good hunts, the bad hunts, the things that ended with weather and like the hunt the year before where it was really nice weather. Right at the end of that hunt, we had a volcanic eruption. And so we got stuck for like 2 weeks because nobody could fly because there was too much volcanic ash, which will just wipe an airplane engine out in a few seconds. So everybody was grounded. And so, just things like that happen all the time. I've written and deleted this film 20 times. Like pages, and then just held the delete button down. And then wrote pages and did it again. So sometimes it just takes a vein and sometimes it's just striking a chord of painting the picture that I want to see and trying to not just tell you what's happening on the screen, but these are things that, try to explain the frustrations, but not explain them in a plain and simple way. Try to explain them in an assimilation. And we're all human beings, and despite of all of us feeling like we're all completely unique, we're really not. We just have a few small veins in which we all fall in. And so the things that I've experienced is some of the same feelings I experience on a 30-day hunt in the Arctic, you might experience in the dentist chair, right? And so like it's just getting you to feel. And then like the psychology of the edit, I'm sure Kyle would rather die than walk down here and answer that question, but he'll edit certain things. He'll swing a camera a different way, or he'll use a shot of a sky that is unpleasing to your eye to get you to feel uncomfortable in the theater. And then we have, I think he's out playing pool, but we have a full-time musician on staff, and he scores all the music. And so we even have to have meetings about emotion and about things that, he'll call me up and say, hey, when you got charged by that bear, were you scared? I'll say, well, a little bit. And he's like, well, how much? Like, do you think you're gonna die? And I said, no. And he's like, okay, I know the song. And I hang up. And then with The Rivers Divide, he was playing in a band in Missouri, and I wounded this deer that I nicknamed Steve. I know this guy named Steve that he thinks that people that name deer are morons. So I found this big deer, and I was like, I'm naming him Steve. And so I was hunting this deer that we nicknamed Steve, and I wounded him and then ended up killing him. But Casey was trying to find a sound for Steve, if you remember that film. And he was in a bar in Missouri, and he walked in, and there was this black chick singing, and he walked in, he's like, that's Steve. So he went up on stage and dragged her out to his van, and they recorded a song in the van. True story. That's the song that you hear in the film. So it's all different pieces. I guess she was good looking too. I always put myself in the animal's position. So I think about, what if I was that caribou and somebody was shooting at me, or I was losing my life, and I very much understand the relationship between predator and prey, and I very much understand where us human beings fit on the face of this earth and how we fit into the ecosystem. And even though, we're apes, we're great apes, we have opposable thumbs, we have huge frontal lobes, we fly airplanes, but we're still great apes, and we're still in the predator and prey relationship. So, but I want to understand, I just want to extend some consciousness to the event that's going on, because if we lose that, well, then that animal just becomes kind of a mundane object, and certainly we don't want it to become something that is just like a piece of something that's represented by antlers or a hide or something like that. So I just try to put myself, it's no different than in my life. Like if you see somebody having a bad day, or just try to picture what it must be like to, and luckily for me, this is a side note, but like a lot of times on these trips, super hungry, scared. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times, like I was like, well, for sure we're not going to make it through. We did a hunt a few years ago in the Bering Sea, and even the captain of the boat, there's 8 of us on the boat, and he's like, hey, we're probably all going to lose our lives tonight. So like we all have to everyone's got to work together tonight, because we're in like 35-foot seas, but when you do that stuff, then you have an understanding. Like right now, you guys are going out and getting drinks, we're getting food, we're sitting here amongst friends, we're watching a film, everything's pretty easy peasy. But you should have a place, I urge you, that you should go in your mind and find something dangerous. I don't care if you go pick a fight, there's a couple of special forces dudes in here tonight, pick a fight with one of those guys and they'll show you some presents. They'll give you an understanding of what it feels like to see the room starting to come pretty dark. And I seriously urge you to do that. Like you should risk your life every year that you can for understanding. If you get killed, it's not that big a deal because you're dead. So, but you should find an edge and ride that a little bit, nothing stupid.
I am Jay from Q. I am a professional at giving away Kevin's stuff. I'm an semi-professional party host. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to draw 2 names from the list of all of you that came. If you don't want to participate, this is on you. You just don't get the gun. So we're going to have basically the 2 of you face off, and you're going to perform a series of animal calls for the audience. The audience will then decide who wins based on level of applause. So I won't tell you the animals until you get down here. I don't want anyone cheating if you have any calls with you. So if we call your name and you don't want to participate, just don't say anything probably, because you might get made fun of. You're not gonna like me, but it'll be a good time. So the first participant is Jared Wiggins. The second participant is Chris Williams. So what I'm gonna do, I'll give you the animal. You got 15 seconds to just sound off. There will be 3 animals that you may or may not be familiar with, but you're gonna give it your best shot. So does anyone want to go first? All right, well, I'm gonna tell you, you're going first. So, all right, so the first call is just a basic whitetail grunt, intending grunt, whatever you want. And you got 15 seconds. Give it all you got. Brr. Ooh. You want any more, or do you want to stick with it? Okay, all right. Okay, I like that one. Like I said, whitetail deer.
Whitetail?
Basic grunt. Wow, interesting. All right, well, we'll be a pause for a moment. How do we feel with the first grunt? How do we feel about the second ground? All right, this is your chance to redeem yourself. This next animal is an interesting one. You are going to perform a turkey call, and it could be a cut, it could be something from a hen, or it could be a gobble, or it could be both. You got 15 seconds. Let it fly. Where are you from? All right. I've never heard that turkey. All right. Interesting. All right. Again, turkey call. Whatever you decide, you got 15 seconds, let it fly.
I'm gonna be fair. I would do it first one. Who liked you? I would build up the second one. No, this is bust up great. Really.
All right, so the third call, and you're being forced to participate, is going to be with your mouth an elk bugle. So here you go. I didn't know you might sit there. All right, you got 15 seconds. Let it fly.
We need the craziest people. Well, I think we do have our ring. But we're getting you out of your shot.
We'll get all your information. We have the gun not with us, but we'll get it out to you, and you get possible. Oh, Kevin's thrown in the ring.
I don't know. Maybe we offer him money for the gun. We do something else cool.
Yeah, you want cash? You want Donnie's gun?
No, I'd rather have the gun.
Get the cash with the gun.
How bad? How bad do you want? I'll trade you for a caribou hunt all paid for.
And don't be crazy. About 10 grand for the gun.
Kevin's got it.
Don't like your check.
Mine.
15 grand?
Max, you take it. Still PayPal or Venmo?
15. I'll be there.
All right, deal.
Take it.
Participating with great sport, you can't leave empty-handed. So we're gonna put our beautiful minds together and make sure we got your information. We'll reach out to you, get a little something. Do we?
You get a brand new Maven scope valued at like $1,500. Dude, yeah. Guys, that's all we got. Thank you so much. Yes. If you're still coming to the Western Hunt Expo, come raid our booth. Come check us out, okay? Thank you and good night.